Hey, what's up, everybody? You're looking at, who's this guy? Repping Sam Garcia Sports Management Group. It's Coach Schwartz. Say what's up, Dave.
So Sam made me wear the hat and glasses. He's paying me to wear this shirt.
It's a good look for you.
But this billboard is up for grabs. So anyone who wants to outbid Sam, give me a call.
And with us is Neda Ulaby from
Hello.
NPR Radio.
World famous.
World famous.
World
Absolutely. And you don't even need those glasses with
September gloom.
Yeah, this is good overcast. So whoever's holding this camera, you'll be able to read comments. Folks, chime in at any point during my rope skipping if you want to ask a question about whatever's going on in boxing. It's been a quiet August, but we're in September now, and this is a really hot month. A lot of excellent boxing matchups. Boxnard 187 says, who wins, Mikey Garcia versus Dejan, October 15? I'm going with Mikey, even though he's one fight back after being away 2 years. I think Dejan Zlatkanin, I can't pronounce his name, but he's the WBC lightweight title holder. He's kind of tailor-made for Garcia because he's a short, aggressive guy. And so he plays into the counter-punching ability of Mikey Garcia. I think Garcia might get him out of there, as a matter of fact.
And I thought Garcia looked great in his first fight.
He did.
And he's been training the whole time.
He's been training the whole time, so he knocked rust off.
He's disciplined.
Yeah. He'll be up for this. And I think he'll fight better if he has to make 135 than if he's fighting at like 139, 138.
And he made a personality adjustment, too.
He worked well with Beto Duran, but I'm giving Beto
he
Duran
was
the credit for that, the commentating of.
No, he was good on that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to turn the phone over to Neda.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yes, Neda.
That's my hand. Who wins Mikey Garcia versus Dejan October 15th?
I just answered that. Come on, dude. Oh, I think he logged off. Yeah, I like Mikey Garcia. You missed my analysis, brother. Yeah, I'm going to go with the counter-puncher who's got power against a guy who's going to come straight forward. Unless Dejan Zlatkanin has a great chin, and I don't think he does. People don't know this, but I've seen Dejan buzzed pretty hard in the gym sparring. So
Crawford versus Broner 140.
Crawford. Terrence Crawford. Boy, that'd be a fun. Hey, and Terrence wanted that fight at lightweight, so I mean, he would definitely bring his A game against Adrian.
So if they're not
but I would love that fight.
They're not going to fight.
Yeah. You know what? I like Broner.
Yeah.
I think he makes for good matchups
He's
against
really
a lot
good.
of guys. I mean, what a talent. Oh, my goodness.
How about when he knocked down Porter in the 12th round?
I mean,
That
by
was
accident, you know?
That was a big-time knockdown.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's something else. I mean,
So who's Porter going to fight next?
Kovalev.
come on, man. He's in the PBC. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. If he fights anybody, he should be happy that he fought twice and he's a PBC player. They don't deal in volume, you know.
And making some big-time money.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they make money, but these guys don't fight.
Spence versus Thurman.
Spence versus Thurman. I'm going to go with the Thurminator. If it was to happen next, I don't think Spence is quite ready for Thurman. I think he has a unique style. I think that power punch on the fly style of Thurman's would, I think he'd be able to test the chin of Spence, and I like his experience. Spence is awesome, though, folks. I'm not hating on Spence.
What was the Kovalev question? It vanished before I got a chance to read it.
Probably.
Oh, thanks. Could Kovalev award judges go for the aggressor over clean punches?
Yeah, but I mean, Kovalev would have to apply active, not necessarily hard pressure, but he would have to be an active aggressor to get the judges to go to score a close round for him if Andre Ward is landing the cleaner punches.
Canelo versus Smith. What round does Smith get KO'd in? Is that right?
I'm seeing a decision. I'm seeing a distance fight, or if Canelo gets him, it'll be late rounds. And I think it's a hard fight. I don't think Canelo can push around Smith. In fact, I think Canelo beats Smith on experience and ring savvy. That's what he has on Smith. He doesn't have size and strength on Smith.
Have you seen Smith fight?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Smart pressure, Good jab, good body puncher, high guard.
So what do you think about Kell Brook being so heavy? I think that's really a negative for him.
But I think he's always like that.
No, but
He's just not starving.
No, I think that he should be 5 pounds lighter than Golovkin right now, and he's 5 pounds heavier. I think
It makes me think they want to be able to stand in there. Makes me think that if they try to stick and move on Golovkin, Triple G will cut the ring off and catch him as they're trying to pull out, and they figure maybe he can defend better and do more damage if he stands and trades, if he makes it an inside fight. And we've seen in spots from some of Golovkin's fights with smaller guys like Kasem Uma, and for a round or two with Willie Monroe Jr.
Yeah, Willie Monroe did
When
well.
you stand inside, you can hit him. You can do something where when you're trying to avoid him, trying to stick and move, he just knows how to deal with that, you know? How am I doing?
So
Dougie Fisher looking good on the jump rope.
Yeah, man.
looking really good.
This is a good rope.
Yeah. Did you ever open yours?
What was that?
Did you?
No, I still haven't. This is the only time I skip it.
Yeah.
I got to start doing that.
There was-
Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, it's a throwback
Okay,
t-shirt, folks.
who does Canelo fight at next after Smith? Does he fight at 160 with Billy
Yeah, he
Joe
fights at
Saunders?
160, probably the winner of Gabe Rosado, Willie Monroe Jr., or if they can work some kind of deal out with Billy Joe Saunders, they would go for that WBO middleweight title. But his next fight is slated for December. It will be regular HBO, and the plan is to be at middleweight. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't think he can overlook Liam Smith. I think Smith is live, particularly if Canelo has a hard time making 154 pounds. Yeah, everyone says, hey, it's just 1 pound less than he's been fighting at. That 1 pound could be everything. Wherever your threshold is, you know. So
Anyway,
you got some questions for me.
in honor of Triple G, I want you to name the WBC middleweight champs from now back.
From now back, well,
Yeah.
it's Triple G right now.
Right?
It was Canelo, so Triple
Right.
G, and then it was Canelo who held it for one fight,
Right.
and then it belonged to Miguel Cotto,
Right.
and before Cotto it belonged to Sergio Martinez for a number of years. And I should mention that the WBC title has been associated with the lineal title holder for quite some time. So Sergio Martinez, before Sergio Martinez, it was Kelly Pavlik.
Rich says, I don't think Canelo belongs in the 160 pound division. He's too small.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how he feels making 154. I personally think he would be better. He doesn't have to weigh 160 pounds. I mean, he could fight it he could come in at 157. As long as he allows his opponent to weigh 160, if that's what they want to do, I think fans are fine with that. Fans don't like catch weights because, maybe the other guy doesn't want to come in at a certain weight or whatever. But I think Canelo will be a little bit better at 160. I think he'll have better stamina. He'll be able to let his hands go a little bit more. Before Kelly Pavlik, the WBC title holder was Jermaine Taylor. Before Taylor, it was Bernard Hopkins. Before Bernard Hopkins, it was Keith Holmes. Before Keith Holmes, it was Hassan Sharifi.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
Before Hassan Sharifi, I think it was Keith Holmes.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
traded it. And before it was Keith Holmes, it was Quincy Taylor.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Before it was Quincy Taylor, it was Julian Jackson. Before it was Julian Jackson, I think Julian Jackson won a vacant BC title against some guy from Italy.
What was his name?
Cardamone, it started with a C, I think, or I can't remember. He lasted. I'd never seen him.
Yeah.
I'd never seen him before. He got knocked out in 2 rounds. I didn't. Never seen him again.
And that's his last name. What's his first name?
I don't know. Sergio.
You got it.
Is it really?
Antonio.
No, Antonio. All right. Well, it's kind
That's, you
of.
got it. That's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very good. And the thing is, one thing, when Taylor beat Hopkins, that was a horrible decision.
Yeah, it was. It was controversial.
It was a one-sided fight for Hopkins.
I thought Hopkins won 8 rounds.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was a hard fight to score.
Yeah,
either.
it was easy.
Yeah, that was.
Okay,
politics,
so
man.
who did Julian Jackson? Who did
Who held it
Cardamone?
Well, he didn't. I don't think Cardamone had it. It was a vacant belt.
And who had it before that?
I got to think of the time. Oh, it was Gerald McClellan.
Yeah, right.
McClellan vacated to go up to 168.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the G-Man and that fateful night against Nigel Benn getting injured, permanently injured in that super middleweight fight. That's right. And before the G-Man, Gerald McClellan, it was Julian Jackson.
Right.
And Julian Jackson won. God, who did Julian Jackson? Does anybody out there know who did Julian Jackson beat to win the WBC middleweight title?
I got it.
And Jackson was a junior. It was a WBA junior middleweight title holder prior to moving up to middleweight. God, who the heck would he?
Well, who vacated it for that guy to? That was a. Remember who vacated the title before that?
Before Julian Jackson?
Yeah. A movie just came out.
Oh, I know. It was Roberto Duran.
Right.
Right. Duran won it from Iran Barkley.
Right.
And Iran Barkley won it from Thomas Hearns.
Right.
And Thomas Hearns won it from Juan Roldan.
Right.
And I think that was a vacant title.
Yeah. Why was it vacant?
Who the hell vacated? It was vacant because Marvin Hagler vacated it to fight. Oh no! It was Sugar Ray Leonard vacated it after winning it from Hagler. Right. The other two titles, Hagler was undisputed, but the other two titles were stripped from Hagler for fighting Leonard after Leonard had been gone for 3+ years.
Great knowledge on the sweet science.
There you go. So that's 20 years. 20 years. A little bit of help, little assistance from Coach Schwartz.
You did it all
no.
yourself,
I had some assistance.
Okay, so who did Julian Jackson defeat? I think he's from the UK.
Yeah. I remember this dude. And the dude was boxing well. Julian Jackson was such a great puncher. He just tapped you. A punch would look like this. And the guy would just go.
Hagler Leonard, I still have it 114 to 114.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I was a huge Ray Leonard fan, and I had it 7 rounds to 5 for my hero, Ray Leonard. So what does that tell you? Yeah, I saw an interview on UCN Live that Steve Kim did with Larry Merchant last year, maybe. And Merchant felt that Hagler won, that Hagler deserved to win that fight. And who was the one judge who scored it for Hagler? Local guy?
Oh, was that Lou Filippo?
Lou Filippo. Yeah, Lou Filippo.
So
the former fighter knows.
You know how he got started fighting?
No.
He was in the audience at either the Olympic Auditorium or the Hollywood Legion Stadium. A fight fell out. He came out of the audience and fought. He had never fought before.
But wasn't he like an amateur? Didn't he?
Well,
was he an amateur,
never fought
or he
pro.
fought in the military?
You know who his manager trainer was?
No. Jackie McCoy?
Yeah.
If
That's the
Gonzalez,
answer, 25% of all fighters in Southern Cali.
sorry, if Gonzalez beats Cuadras, where does he go next?
He stays at 115 pounds. I think he will vacate the WBC and Ring Magazine flyweight titles. He makes this weight. It's just easier on his body to fight at 115 pounds. And at that point, I think HBO will either try to get Juan Estrada to step up from flyweight to have a rematch with Chocolatito at junior bantamweight, or they start to beat the drums for Roman Gonzalez versus a fabulous but very young and still kind of green Japanese phenom named Naoya Inoue. And Inoue is a title holder at 115 pounds.
He won
but
last night.
he only has like 11 fights though. He's a 2-division champion, Neda, but he's a prodigy. He won 2 titles in 2 weight classes within, I think, 8 pro fights. So he's still kind of green. I think.
This is important, but Dave is getting a lot of compliments on this.
Thank you.
It's a good look for you, Jack. Good look for you.
Anyway, Dougie, you outdid yourself today.
All right. Yeah.
Plus, we have a professional camera person.
That
here.
always helps.
So
and great job with the
good going,
questions.
Neda.
Well, and forgive me, people watching, because it's hard to get questions in with these guys. They got a lot to talk about. There's one question that I remember about how if HBO gives will boxing switch to Showtime if HBO gives it up, something like that?
Top rank. Well, top rank switch.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to.
But maybe this person's saying HBO is getting out of boxing, which I don't think that's
It's a good time to resubmit questions, folks. If you
No, I think Showtime's had a really good year. and I think they're keying up for another a really big year in 2017. But HBO is obviously still committed to boxing. Their budget isn't what it was years ago, or certainly decades ago. At one time, HBO had an annual budget. You're not going to believe this, Neda, $100 million set aside just for boxing, to build up boxing stars, to beef up their boxing programming on HBO Sports. But it's not the same anymore. But they're still making good fights. I mean, this Saturday is a great example of it. You get Triple G Brook from London, and then later that Saturday you get the Chocolatito Gonzalez Carlos Cuadras fight. And the opening bout of that fight is a rematch of a Fight of the Year candidate between Jesus Soto Karass and Yoshihiro Kamagai. So the programming is still strong. Maybe it's not as often as it was, or as consistent as it was at one time, but I also think HBO is building up for a pretty eventful 2017.
2 questions. Dave, what brand are your sunglasses? And Douglas, Donnie Garcia versus Thurman. Well, let's do the sunglasses first.
I don't know. You know, I found him in some car someone brought.
Danny Garcia versus Thurman. Thurman. I like Thurman by decision. I think, you know what, I will pick most welterweight standouts to defeat Danny Garcia, but I don't think anyone will have an easy time with Danny Garcia. I think he's dangerous. I don't think they can go out there and try to whack him out of there. I think, you know, they have to beat him with talent and with skills. They cannot go out there and try to manhandle Garcia. If they do, Garcia will check him. I really do. I believe that.
But he doesn't fight often enough.
He doesn't. None of these guys fight often enough.
Who wins Dougie Pacman versus Vargas?
God, I want to pick Vargas so bad, but I've been picking against Pacquiao. He's been making me look like an idiot to the delight of his fans. You know, I'll go with Pacman via a close, perhaps controversial decision. I think it's going to be a very good fight, and I think Vargas is very live in that fight. I think his busy jab and that right, that well-timed semi-overhand right of Vargas's is going to be dangerous for old man Congressman Pacquiao.
And how do you think the
Senator? Sorry, not Congressman. Senator Pacquiao. Sorry, Mr. Pacquiao.
How do you think the pay-per-view is going to do?
It's not going to do well at all.
Get bombed.
Yeah, it's going to.
But
Aram's got the money to spend. We're not going to be throwing any benefits for Aram, as Steve Kim likes to say.
Real smart, but
yeah. But he's going to distribute that himself.
So who's the very best promoter by far? No close.
Tom Loeffler. In America. In America. Listen. You know, in Japan, it's Mr. Honda with Taken Promotions. In the UK, it's Eddie Hearn with Matchroom Boxing. But here in the United States, and he's pretty good abroad as well, you know, with the Klitschko franchise, and he takes the Triple G show on the road as he is this Saturday. Tom he's an international class promoter, and right now I think he's doing the best job with his clients here in the United States. I really do.
There's no close second.
And I'm biased, but I think Golden Boy Promotions does very, very well because for such a huge stable, and the best thing about Golden Boy is they have more young fighters under contract than anybody, I think, in the world. They got more guys between the age of 18 and 21 than any other promoter. Even Eddie Hearn's got a lot of young cats too. You know, there's a lot of talent, a lot of just boxers in the UK. But Golden Boy has more youngsters, and they're developing them faster and better than anyone. Golden Boy is the way Top Rank and Main Events used to be in the 80s and the 90s.
Plus they had the platforms.
Well, they learned. They've got the platforms, and here's the secret, folks. You want the secret? This is what PBC and Richard Schaefer, whenever he comes out of the shadows with his organization, you have to make alliances with young trainers who know the game, who know the sport and know the business, and know how to teach these young men. Because your matchmaking is only so good as your talent. So by Golden Boy having a lot of fighters who are trained by Robert Garcia and Joel Diaz and Manny Robles Jr. and some of these other guys, these young up-and-coming trainers, together they're kind of building the next generation. But that's a component that a lot of fans miss out, is alliances, promotional alliances with certain trainers. Main Events had it with George Benson. You see what I'm saying?
Benton.
Benton, yeah, Benton. Georgie Benton from Philadelphia. Top Rank for years had a great alliance with Freddie Roach, obviously, with Floyd Mayweather Sr. I'm trying to think who the big guy was back in the 80s or whatever. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's good to have alliances have your fighters trained by someone who knows what they're doing, particularly when they're the kids, who are just learning. So, all right, I know we've gone more than 15 minutes.
Like Bill Miller.
Like Bill Miller. Bill Miller. Well, you know what? And like Don King, he had Emmanuel Stewart for a long time.
And how about
helping
Don
out his
Hamilton?
fighters. The great Don. You know what? You got a Don Hamilton thing going on right now with that hat and those shades right
But
there.
he really knew what he was doing. He really did. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great week. And Dougie, what do you say?
Always take the high road. Always.